Hey, what's up? Checking out some arcade. We're going to check out the pool. So it's a pretty cool kit. It's one of their new kits here. If you want to see them, you just go to browse here, and this gives you all their new kits. I've tried them all out, and they're pretty nice, the pool ones, especially if you use different style parts. You can start some nice melodies and stuff. Let's just go back to the feed. This gives you the newest kits. We can just listen. That sounds pretty cool. You got these funky drums here. Sort of trashy bit crushed drums, if you will, which are pretty cool. Then you have your bassline packs. These are actually really nice. You could do some nice house music with this, I think. Got your monitoring volume here. You can turn that up a little. So this is their newest line. Lines are groups of sounds that work together. So let's just load this up. And so you got this really cool graphic, which I really like. And I won't play with this just now because I need my hands, obviously, to play the keyboard. But if you want it, you can get in here and edit all this FXNs. You can turn lo-fi on, all sorts of cool stuff. Here you can edit, do macro editing. Macros are the 4 knobs over here, so you can change this stuff up. Then down here you've got a modulation LFO, which is pretty cool. So you can mess around with this type stuff and do some cool effects. So let's just play. So some really nice high quality hits. You can change any key, which is great. You can put the octaves 12 down or 12 up, which is really cool. So it really fits well in any track because you can literally change it to any key on the fly. So most of these are just the big sub shots, punchy type things I found in this pack. That's some kind of cool ambient stuff in this. Usually with these lower keys, you've got more of sort of a drum or some sort of rhythmic thing. In these, you get more of the melody, but it sort of changes in different packs. Yeah, so you've got this sort of ambient. So it's pretty cool. You could do like a really cool beat behind that and turn it into sort of a film score thing. Maybe put some strings in. Strike formation. So more strikey type things. I personally really like the evolving sort of ambient textures. Anything that sort of has some movement to it is really cool. So again, with Arcade, I find that they just really sample everything beautifully. They just capture the essence, and they have some algorithm that they use in terms of the way that it's shaped. They have a distinctive sound output, I find. So that's a cool one. All right. So let's just turn this destroy up. So the one problem I have with Arcade is these macros are not actually automatable in Reason, which is the DAW that I use, Reason 10.3, which is a fantastic DAW. And this works really well inside it, except that I can't automate these things, which is like really, really shitty. I may be able to do it in Studio One. I'm pretty sure I can do it that way, but I don't like using Studio One, really. I mean, I will at times, but I just don't prefer Reason. It's so intuitive that it works perfectly. So you can also check out these kits. This gives you all the new stuff as well. So you can just go on and click one of these. I don't want this no more. Right? So if you want, you can just load that up. And we'll load that up, and you just play. Right. Cool, and let's put some more space in there. So got some really, really nice reverb. Let me go. It just sounds beautiful. What's this hype? It just sort of squishes the sound a little bit. This radio, what is this? Yeah, so it gives it sort of a bit of distance and a bit of a filter, which really sounds nice. And then the wave. That's really nice too. It sort of lets it ride a wave, if you will. So there's those which are really cool. This is a cool library too, which is called Stitch. Alright, so if you need to stitch two pieces of audio together. Right, so if you want to just dig into making beats, you can make some great stuff just on the fly. Like, I'll just play keys together. So I'm not sure when you would use those cool, I think Indian samples, Swara, but I do like the drums in there. Pretty damn cool. So this is another library called Toys. It's not for kids, but it samples all the kid instruments. I have not really dived into this library too much because I find, I'll be honest, I do find some of the libraries a little too bright and happy at times, and that's not really the style of music that I'm into. So, like, well, that's kind of cool, this sort of shaker. Yeah, so these are just like rhythmic things. I don't even know what that is. So you got a bit of melody here. See what I mean? It's like happy clown music, right? So, could work for something. So this is your bass lines, which are really cool. So just back to our browsers, again, our lines. I'll just tell you what I think of the different libraries. So we have Inner World, which is cool. Really fantastic library if you're into film score. Works wonders. Bassline, also very cool. There's different styles of bass lines in it. So everything from house to jazzy stuff. To deep stuff, to mellow, groovy blues, probably. Poolside is more your typical chill out type of vibe. There's some really nice sounds in there. The Crate is actually like all classical music. Or sorry, like jazzy stuff as well. Jazz and classical. And it's all royalty free, right? All the classical and all jazz is stuff you can freely use in your productions because it's been like 100 years or so, or whatever it is, 80 years since this stuff was sampled. So it's free to use. So they've done a really nice job of taking great things. This is Mozart Serenade on a Kleine Nacht music. So if we load that, I think that's Tchaikovsky. So if you want to do like a hip hop beat with, you know, the typical classical hook or something, well, that's for you. Great trash drums, that's kind of self-explanatory. Chopped is a pretty cool library, I have to say. It's some really cool chord progressions. Let's just see what this sounds like. This is a new one here. I really like hearing all their new stuff. I'm really excited, especially when they release new lines. And I'm waiting for the next line. I don't know what it's going to be, but I hope it comes out soon because I'm dying for more of this stuff. Let's hear this. Yeah, like that's pretty cool. That's really nice. So I approve. I like the lo-fi. Lo-fi is really in right now. So you take all that high out. Really nice library. I'll have to remember that one. What's this? And then you get a lot of these piano, which are kind of, I don't know, it almost feels like a little commercial thing you'd see on TV or something. Kind of nice. Great thing is they're just recorded so well that all their samples sound fantastic. That's also very nice too. Put a nice beat behind that. Really cool. So I don't forget these ones, I'm just going to put a little heart to all of those so I can check them out. Okay, K2 saved. Oops. How do I add those? Oops. So go to these. I guess you can't drag them over there. I'm not sure how to get them. There's a way, I'll figure that out later. So back to our lines. Then you've got like the Nashville thing, which is like really nice guitars. I'll just play you some of the samples. So it's a cool thing about arcade is that they really focus on all the different genres of music. It's not like they just make one set of samples. They really go for country. They really go for bassy stuff. You've got jazzy. You've got classical. Like you've got all these different things, and it's like it's really diverse. And just the manipulation options is outstanding. And you've got some really cool drums here. So that would have gone nice with the last sample I brought up. All right, so some really nice guitar licks too. Okay, then that brings us into this nightmare thing. So obviously, you know, this would really go well with the first bank lines, the new bank of all the hits and stuff. So this is all scary stuff if you're producing for scary movies or something.